Okay. My dear audience, my name is Dr. Christoph Garner. I am neurologist, and in the last years I have developed together with Mr. Feiner and the Institute IFEN a program where we can analyze event-related potentials, ERPs, with on a much more simple manner than it was possible before. The program was initially written in MATLAB, but then we transferred it to Python because there were more options we could use there. Especially we could compile it and give it to others simply. So to show how it principally works, we only have to do a few clicks. We have to load an EDF file, EEG recording with 4 channels, 19 channels, whatever, and open this. And now you can see we have a 19 channel EEG, and we have EEGs triggered on the uncommon event. In this case, it's a visual oddball task with O as an uncommon rare trigger and X as the common one here. Yeah, to see the ERP there, you only have to click on the channel you want to see. Maybe commonly first we are looking at CZ at the central on top and say run analysis, and then you have the averages of the epochs of the uncommon. This is the red line. Yeah, there were 6 triggers, and for the common event, the X, these were 38 triggers. And we have a clear P300. This is a healthy person here, young person with about 30 years. And the P300 we can see here is it's 223 milliseconds. Here you have the scale for the amplitude. Here you have the scale for the time. And we have a latency of 324 and an amplitude calculated from 0 of 16 microvolts. This is for an ERP, it's quite large. So how do we come to this picture? I want to show you first the original CZ EEG together with the triggers. You have a button down here, show selected EEG channels, and now we are showing the CZ EEG plus the triggers. Yeah. Now you can see the red lines are the triggers, and the blue line is the EEG. It was a recording of 2 minutes, 120 seconds, and as I told you, about 40 common and 6 uncommon triggers. We can enlarge this to show you the principle of Mr. Feiner's work. We have here triggers, and now I am moving through this. These are all small triggers with about 60 milliseconds. And now we go here, and now we see here is a broad trigger. That means an uncommon event on the screen, an O. X, X on the screen, X, X, and here's again an O. Yeah. What we are doing now is that we average. We cut 1 second from the beginning of the trigger, yeah, and put it into a basket. If it's a broad trigger, it comes into the basket uncommon. If it's a small trigger, it comes into the basket common. And at the end, we divide through the number of triggers, and then we have the average. We can do this now, and we can see this is the uncommon trigger, 6, yeah, and this is the corresponding average EEG of 1 second. I can make it more clear if I go for plot normalize, and then you can see the P300 at 330 milliseconds here. We can do the same with the uncommon. CZ is here, and we again also do the uncommon, do the common trigger, and here we have the common trigger, and if I do normalize, we can see at 300 milliseconds there is no potential, as we could see here if we do both channels together. So what can we do now? We can, for instance, we can subtract the 2 channels and see what is the difference. We have here options and tools. We can make, we can clear the channels. Yeah, for instance, if I want, I can clear markers, and I can clear the screen if I want, and then I have an option difference. And so this is the difference of uncommon and common. Yeah, we can also do show all 3 lines. So this is the common, the blue one, the red one is the uncommon, and the green one is the difference of the 2 lines. So next, what we like to do is to make this the curve more clean. So you see there is a lot of spikes and high frequency amplitudes. And what we commonly are doing, we are using a low pass filter. That means now you can see here 20, we will filtering out all frequencies above 20 hertz, because our potential is a slow potential. Yeah, if I do this, I get a much more clear line where I can more easily identify the amplitudes. Next, what we can do, we can also use a high pass filter. That means we are cutting out all frequencies below 0.5, so slower than 0.5 hertz. This is especially helpful when we have a lot of amplitude changes. I will better show you this in the EEG itself. If I have no filter, sorry, if I have no filter, you can see this is 0 here, that the ground line is shifting up and down. And if I use this high pass filter, then you will see the EEG will be much more flattened. Yeah, you can see all this up and down, the sweating effect, something like that is killed out. So regularly we are using optionally, of course, high pass and low pass filters, and have a nice curve with N100, a P100, P200, P300. This might be a P4 or 500, things like that. Sorry, I moved this. You can enlarge any interesting portion if you want. You can have a close look at the peak. You can also wander through the curves with this button, and there are some other options also. So what I want to show you next is what we can do is we can, of course, now look at different channels simultaneously. For instance, how is the propagation from back to front? Now we have in blue the C set, blue one, in red P set, posterior, and in green we have F set. Yeah, and you can see all three are quite the same. As I told you, you could even look closer to it if you want, for instance, like this. Yeah. Something else we can do, we see that these curves are starting all a little below zero. We can make an adjustment, start with zero, so every curve is here normalized to zero, and some people like to calculate the amplitude in this way. Another way would be to do a baseline correction. That means we are averaging 200 milliseconds before the event and adjust the lines to this average. So this gives a little different picture there. What we can do, of course, is now also to look, make clear channels. What is FP1 and FP2? So right and left side. What is it looking like? Very nice P300. If we look at the common, I will predict that the common will run here, somewhere here, yeah, because there should be no P300. I will add it, yeah, and you can see the common event, the X event. There is no P300. Last, I will show you if we analyze or we show all common channels together. You can see these are all channels from front to back, from left to right. And what we can do now is to find the amplitudes here and make them graphically. That means I'm looking for the amplitudes between 250 and maybe this one would be 380. I can put this number here, 380. Yeah, and then I can export to an Excel table. Now I have to change the screen, I think. Yeah. So now you can see a map, a brain map of the latencies and of the amplitudes. The green values are faster P300s, and the yellow and red ones are slower ones. As you can see, this individual has faster latencies on the right side in the average of about 10 milliseconds. Yeah. The amplitudes, however, are normally distributed, lower latencies back, higher latencies in front, but the side difference is 1 microvolt, so nothing. Here there are more detailed figures about the differences of the latencies. And in the bottom here you have the all latencies of the P300. They are mean 331, and the amplitude is a mean 9 microvolt, what is quite good, and the standard deviation. Yeah. So that is a short introduction into our ERP program, and I hope I could show you that with this program, it is possible with a relatively simply and fast way to analyze ERPs. Thank you very much.